All right, hi again. So we're going to continue with some basic Python before we dive into the chemistry specific coding. So one of the types that we're going to need to work with when we start dealing with lots of data that we get from an external source is called a dictionary in Python. And a dictionary is just a set of key value pairs. I'll show you what that means. And they're actually really useful, and they actually appear in some form in most coding languages, so it's not specific to Python. So I'm going to create a dictionary that's going to store all the information about my pet, okay? So my pet is the variable name, and I'm going to store in it a dictionary. Dictionaries are always enclosed in curly braces. And I'm just going to store lots of information about my pet. So the first piece of information I'll store is his name. Notice that there's either single or double quotes around that, doesn't matter. And then his name is George. So name : George. Type, what type of animal is he? He's a cat. His age, we don't know exactly, but I think it's about 10. And notice that 10 does not go in quotation marks because it's an integer, it's a number. And let's just say that's it for now, okay? Let's just run this to make sure there's no syntax errors. And you know what, I'm gonna comment out that code so we don't see all that output. And it doesn't like that. Oops, age needs to be in quotation marks. Perfect. Let's try that again. All right, so I don't see any output from my pet because I haven't printed anything. Let me just go and comment out hi test so we don't see that every time. Comment that out. All right, so now I'm gonna access some information about my pet. So if I wanted to print out, say, my pet's name, we put the name of the dictionary, my pet, and then inside of square brackets, we put the key whose value we want to access. So we will type in my pet sub name. It should print out George. Okay. We print out my pet sub age, should print out 10. Okay, so that's just a basic dictionary, and then accessing a particular value based on the key. Okay, of course, then we stick it all inside of a print statement so that it actually displays that value. So I guess that I'll put down here just to stay organized. That is actually accessing a value in the dictionary by its key, which is the age. Now, something I should have mentioned before is that Python can do lots of math operations, as you'd expect. So for instance, if I wanted, for some reason, to print out my pet's age times 2, right? It can take that integer, which was 10, multiply by 2, and it should print out 20. Okay, so you can do all the math operations you want in Python. Okay, so sort of building up to what we'll be working with when we deal with the periodic table data is that we're actually going to have not just one dictionary, but a whole list of dictionaries. Maybe though I will stop this video here so it doesn't get too long, and I'll finish up the dictionaries on the next video. So bear with me.